Hi Parish Panthers, recording a video for you for making your stencil for the palette sign project in the Make class. For this project, we're going to use Adobe Illustrator, which means you're going to need to use a school computer. To get to Illustrator, you go down to your Windows icon down on the taskbar, and you want to open you're looking for the Adobe Master Collection, and then you click on the drop arrow and you scroll down to Adobe Illustrator CS 64-bit. If the computers you're working at does not have the folder here, look for the Adobe Creative Cloud, and that's what I'm going to use. Both of them are fine. Both of them are, everything's almost in exactly the same place. The Creative Cloud, when you click on it down in your window button to open it, you get a little dialog box that pops up like this. There might be something that opens that says learn, or there's, there might be another screen. What you want is the apps screen, and then you want to open Illustrator CS6. And so I click open, and I have to wait a moment while it opens. Let me get it sized correctly for you all. So now I have my Illustrator, and I want to open and create an artboard. It's very much like the document properties you would make in Inkscape, but in Illustrator we work in artboards. And so this black is dead space. I haven't opened the artboard yet. So I have to click on File and New, and I'm in another dialog box that pops up. Make sure your your units are in inches. You'll get lots of options here, you see, but I don't know, you guys are definitely smarter than me to begin with, but if you guys can think in millimeters and pixels or points and whatnot on the large scale, more power to you. But for me, it's much easier to do inches, so I choose inches, and then I come over here to my width and height, and I'm going to make my artboard the exact size I'm going to make my sign, because I need my stencil to be full size or a 1-to-1 ratio. I need it to be the exact same size as the sign, the wood I'm going to cut. And so I'm going to have my sign be 36 inches wide by 30 inches tall. If you need to change it, if by chance the dimensions you want don't come up, you just click on the box and then you type a new dimension, and you get an option there. But I'm going to choose to do 36 by 30. Please make sure you check the project maximum and minimum requirements so you get your artboard set up correctly. So now here's my artboard. Effectively, this is my sign. It's a virtual version of my sign. And my sign, I'm going to model for you guys the Texas raised sign. You have already seen it in the den, but I'm going to show you how I made the stencil for that. So I have my artboard. My mouse is being a little sensitive. Square centered in the middle of my screen, and I simply am going to begin placing the images I've already collected. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm scrolling down. I don't want to open it. I want to place it. I want to put it on my artboard. If you choose Open, it's going to open in its own artboard, and it's going to take a few more steps. So I'm just going to scroll down. It's on my desktop, and I'm going to scroll down until I find the map of Texas. I have several in here, but I have to find the one I want to use. There it is. And so I need to stretch my Texas because I want it to fill my sign as much as possible. And in Illustrator, it's really nice if you press the Shift button while you have an image highlighted. It will let you stretch it, and it will maintain its proportion. It won't get too skinny, too tall, or squish or mush one way or another. So I just press Shift and pull is all I'm doing. And then I'm going to press Shift again and pull on the little toggle. And my artboard keeps wanting to slide out of my screen. That's good size for me. So now I'm going to center it on my artboard. And so I have to make sure my reference point, I want to make it the center. of my image that's been selected. And now I'm going to press center horizontally and center vertically. If I wanted to use a different reference point on my image, say to center, I can choose that, and it may have done some different things for me. But typically, it's always nice to center the center of the image. So my text is now centered on my screen, and you'll notice that there's a black outline. I deleted that out and got rid of it for my stencil. So real quick, kind of how to do that. And if you need help with this, I can do it with you for you, or handle it on the back end. But I'm gonna trace the image, and I want just a nice black and white logo, and there it is. It's been traced, and you see that I still have that line right now, but all of that fuzzy kind of logo in the background has gone away, which is an important step. Now I should be able to I clicked on my results up there, and now I have all the little vectors, which means I can click, if I double click, let's see, actually if I grab them, it came up, there's all of them, right? I don't want to delete the outline of texts. I need the texts as part of my stencil. But if I click simply on I clicked off into space, and that deactivated all of them, and now I can come back and click on my box. Oops. Let's see. There it is. Click on my box, and I can press delete, and it got rid of one of them. Click on them. And continue to click and press delete, and there it's gone. Again, if that gives you trouble, I'll take care of it for you after your file's already completed before we make the stencil. So here's my outline of texts. Now what I need to do is add my text. You'll recall mine said text is raised. So I click over here on the left toolbar, the T is for text. I come out here and I need to draw my box. I want all of my text to be the same style font and fit in the same space. So I can just make one giant text box. If you want to play with different fonts and different size fonts, it may be better. It may all come together nicely, a little bit more nicely if you make different text boxes. So you'll just have to play with a little bit of patience. You guys are smart kids, and I know you can do it. So I know that the font I want for this particular project, I've kind of already geeked out scoping the different fonts, and I want Bell MT, and then I want it to be regular, and then my size, because I'm making a giant sign, right? There's my normal text down there, 12 point. If you were doing a Word document, that's what we'd be doing, but I'm making a big stencil here, so I'm going to go straight to 225. And knowing to jump that big right away just comes from experience. So you might have to play with the experiment around a little bit with your fonts to get what you want. And so I have Texas, and then I type raised, and I'm gonna center it. Oops, I have to do this one too. I want to center it in my text box, and actually I think I'm gonna go with all caps. Texas, yeah. Whoops, raised, there we go. And now I click off of my text box, go back to my arrow, and I'm no longer in text editing mode, but I can adjust the dead space kind of around my text box. And then I want it to center on my artboard. Oops, well, so that's centered on my artboard, but that's not where I'm going to want it, right? So now I'm going to just choose to pretty well eyeball it for having it in line with, I want it to be centered in the state. And actually I could probably, let's see if I can, if I click on both of them together, yep, I think Oops. Oops. Nope. Control Z, Control Z. I'm back where I wanted to be. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to center me on my artboard, which is not what I want. Oh, yep. See, if I want to, it's aligned in my artboard. So now I can go to align to selection, and the two items I have selected, they should align to each other then. And that's, they did horizontally. And it's already vertical. Let's see. Let's try one other. Let's see what if I do to a key object. Let's see what happens. Yeah, sometimes using all of the tools just is not always to your benefit. So I'm just hitting Control Z to get back to where I was pretty happy. Pretty happy with that right there. So there you have it. I've made my stencil. At this point, I'm going to save the file, and this time it's an AI version, and that's just what Adobe defaults to. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and please name it something that I can recognize. So my last name, Miss Makins, and then Pallet sign. And then it's the stencil, right? So I'm going to save it and put it on my desktop, hit save, and then I'd upload it. All I need to do is I just press OK. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and then from there I would go into Google and upload it. And like you've had the problem with some of your Inkscape files, you can't necessarily preview them in Google. I would expect that this AI file you cannot preview as well. But that's fine when we go to make the final versions of it to print your stencil. It's all fine. I'll download the file onto the computer that runs the banner vinyl printer and cutter, and that's all I need. So upload your file and you're good to go.